Hey guys, and welcome back to Mad About Skin. In today's video, we are talking Selfless by Hyram, the skincare line that took the world by storm when it launched around 3 months ago. At the time of the launch, I filmed like a first impression style video, which I'll leave a link to up there. But since then, so much has changed. A lot of content creators and influencers did reviews when the line first launched, but it's really disappointing that so few people have talked about it after that launch date, because whilst first impressions can tell us a whole lot about a product and a brand, it's really after you've used those products consistently for a period of time that you get to see the true results. Having used them for the past 3 months, I want to share that with you in today's video. So sit back, relax, and let's talk Selfless by Hyram. Now, I've got a lot to get through in this video. I feel like I say that at the start of every video, but I really do when it comes to this one. So I do need to cut the waffle and delve straight on in. But I want to caveat it with two things first. First and foremost, these experiences are based on my skin and my own experiences using these products. Obviously, different skin reacts differently to different products, and so it's always worth bearing that in mind. If you've had an experience with any of the products that differs to what I'm saying in this video, sound off in the comments section below. Let me know, because I would love to hear from you. I also want to throw out a huge disclaimer that whilst in this video I'll be giving my true, honest and unbiased review, some of it positive, some of it less than positive, in no way is this meant as a slight to Hyram himself, who's clearly ploughed so much effort, money and time into creating this skincare brand. I have the utmost respect for the way that he's approached this. I love his content, and honestly he's been so supportive of me since starting my journey here on YouTube. But I did just want to take a step back and kind of look at this objectively. I want to do it in a professional way and share my honest experiences with the products, and so anything that's said in this video, it's not meant as a slight on Hyram himself, and obviously I'd encourage you to take that vibe through with any comments that you leave below. But shall we just delve straight on in? And first and foremost, let's talk about the products themselves. On launch, I actually ordered 3 products. I ordered the Centella Green Tea Cleanser, I ordered the Salicylic Acid and Kelp Serum, and I also ordered the Maracuja and Niacinamide Barrier Supporting Moisturizer. There's actually 5 products in the Selfless by Hyram collection, but I only ordered 3 because the other 2 just weren't applicable for my skin type. I can definitely tell when I'm looking at products whether they're going to work for my oily, blemish and acne prone skin or not, and I never like to order and try products that just aren't designed for my skin type, because I kind of feel it's setting the brand up for failure. They weren't going to work on me or on my skin type, and I wasn't going to enjoy them, and so why would I order them and then badmouth them on return? So this is why I kept it to those 3 products that I did think could be really compatible with my skin. Should we start with my absolute favourite, which was this? This is the Centella and Green Tea Cleanser. If you read any of the reviews online, and based on your guys' feedback on this line, I honestly think this is just about everyone's holy grail favourite from the 5 products that were launched. This combines Centella and green tea as 2 antioxidants in a gel cleansing form. I've bought 3 bottles of this now, and honestly, I really enjoy it. I think it's calming, it's soothing, it hasn't irritated my skin, and it doesn't leave me feeling stripped and dried. I'd say it gets off like 90 to 95% of everything on my skin, from waterproof makeup through to SPF, multiple layers of SPF if you're using it, say, on the beach. I do find it leaves your skin feeling really clean, but also nicely calmed and hydrated. Like I say, I'm probably on bottle number 3, and I'd say each bottle will last around a month. I would be inclined to give this product a 10 out of 10 if it wasn't just for that price point. This comes in at $20, which is definitely up there in terms of what I'm willing to pay for a cleanser. It's super effective, but you know, there's plenty of drugstore effective cleansers out there. So I'm going to rate this as a 9 out of 10, which is still amazing, and I'll come on to that price a little bit more detail later on in the video. We're then going to talk the Salicylic Acid and Kelp Serum. Now, this serum I was super keen to try because I have very oily skin, and this is designed to mattify and minimize the amount of breakouts. I used it, and I'd say I was relatively underwhelmed. It was a beautiful formulation. It didn't break me out, which you can get some purging when you use salicylic acid on the skin. It didn't do that. And it didn't strip and dry the skin, which some salicylic acids can do. So from that perspective, really compatible, I'd say, with all skin types. But for me, again, that price point was very high for what the product was delivering. The formulation was great, but it wasn't groundbreaking. And I know so many drugstore salicylic acids which can offer the same benefits for literally a fraction of the cost. For this reason, I didn't repurchase it. I liked it, I thought it was a good strength, but again, a 2% salicylic acid is available just about everywhere, and I'll leave some of my favourites linked in the description box below if you do want to try them out, which is why I'm going to give this product a 6 out of 10. Nicely formulated, definitely does what it says it will in terms of being gentle and helping to minimize blackheads and breakouts, but I was pretty underwhelmed in terms of the price point versus what I actually got from the product. Third and finally, I also tried the Maracuja and Niacinamide Barrier Support Moisturizer. Now this I was super interested in because it's got a lower strength niacinamide than you traditionally see in products, which is right up my street. If you ever wonder why I'm kind of a little bit anti-niacinamide, it's because it often is delivered in too higher concentrations. And I kind of captured my thoughts and feelings in a recent video, which I'll link up there. This has a really nice concentration that I think would work for most skin types. It also has some really nice barrier supporting ingredients in there. It's a rich oil-based formulation, but it was promised not to break me out or to exacerbate any acne that you have. Delivered all of this. Definitely in the mid hydration game. I think if you've got very dry skin, you're going to want to dial it up by either adding an additional facial oil to this or maybe putting on multiple layers. But for people like me, oily, breakout prone, worked so well. It didn't break me out. Whilst I felt it supported the barrier, I do find that the Stratia Liquid Gold, which is my current ride or die favorite barrier support moisturizer, just delivered a little bit more. It's got a few more ingredients for doing that. And also I found in terms of the performance, it just delivered a little bit extra. I tried 2 bottles of this moisturizer and I still always went back to the Stratia Liquid Gold, which here in the UK is a comparable price point to the Selfless by Hyram moisturizer. And so whilst similar to the sea kelp and salicylic acid, it's a good product. I just think there are slightly better ones out there for a similar or less price point, which is why I didn't reach for a 3rd bottle after I'd used through the 2. One criticism I'd say of the products is whilst they're well formulated, they're all in relatively smaller sizes, so I did tend to get through them quite quickly. I have acne across the whole of my face, so I was using these products across the face rather than as unique spot treatments, which, you know, if you did, would extend that lifespan. But I did find that I went through them reasonably quickly and then had to repurchase them, which again is when that price point comes into it. There are 2 other products which I referenced earlier. They do a mandelic acid exfoliator and a low strength retinoid. Both absolutely fantastic if you're a beginner to skincare or have sensitive skin, but for me, I'm an experienced exfoliating acid user and I use a high strength retinoid every day, so this will be a step back in terms of my own skincare journey, which is why I didn't buy them, because I feel like it'd be setting them up for failure. So I'd love to know what your guys' thoughts are on those 2 products specifically. Sound off in the comments section below. So overall, so far, so good. I've been relatively impressed by the products and what the brand is presenting. Ultimately, would I or wouldn't I continue to use this brand? Well, I've seen a lot of people online super keen to buy the products, try the products to support Hyram, which is why I actually reached for these products in the first place. But I haven't heard a lot of talk of it since. Now that leads me to wonder whether people are just using them day in, day out and don't feel the need to shout about it. Or maybe people haven't repurchased. For me, it all comes down to that price point. The price point is very mid-market. I say the upper end of mid-market. To buy all 5 together, you're looking at around the $140 price point, which is a lot when it comes to skincare and certainly isn't accessible to everybody. I also found when it came to that the sizes of the products didn't really justify that slightly higher price point. Looking into it, having used the products for 3 months, I think it all comes down to the partnership with the Inculist. I love the Inculist. They're one of my favorite brands. I love the formulation, the ethos, and I was delighted when Hyram said he was partnering with the Inculist on this line. I thought, perfection, so good. And then I thought more about it and thought the Inculist a drugstore to their core, and I think this gave us the consumer the expectation that the price point would be equally Inculist drugstore, maybe with a little bit of a premium because of the social profile and Hyram himself. However, to say that most of these products are double or triple what you pay for the equivalent with the Inculist just makes it seem even more bougie and expensive than maybe it actually is in reality. An Inculist cleanser would go for around $10, so paying double for what is a really nice cleanser seems even more expensive than what it naturally would be otherwise, and I think that might be a little bit of a downfall of the brand itself. In terms of repurchasing, a lot of people called out it didn't sell out on launch. I think a lot of people thought, you know, if they didn't buy it in the first hour, gone, sold out, and a lot of people were shocked that it didn't sell out and saying, oh, have the sales not been that good? Well, I would always say, when it comes to the Inculist, they have a huge manufacturing capability, and maybe they just anticipated how popular this brand was going to be and created enough product to satisfy that. Not all brands have to sell out. In fact, it's the mark of a good brand that they anticipate the demand and can cater for it so nobody is disappointed. You offer it as well, when you see sold out on a lot of brands, brands do sometimes manipulate that and actually pretend to be sold out when they're not, to kind of create the buzz. I know this is often talked about. I'm not going to name any names because, I don't want to be done for libel, but it's often talked about how brands manufacture this sold out. So credit to the Inklings that they never did that. The products have constantly been in stock. The reason I think the price point might be putting off a lot of people from repurchasing is the Inklings are constantly emailing me out saying, if you want to repurchase the cleanser, you can get 15% off. They've done some sets which combine 2 products with a small discount. So clearly they're aware that the price is a little bit problematic for some people and they're trying to address that. But for me, I don't think addressing that is taking 5% off the products if you buy them together. That's not really a meaningful discount that's going to actually make people want to buy the product again and repurchase it. Similarly, offering me 15% off if I repurchase the products that I've had before isn't really enough, and I'm never a fan when brands do this. I actually like brands to take the price down, take the top level down a little bit, so it's just accessible to all, and even those people that are buying for the first time can get that true discounted price. For me, emailing people out when you might miss an email isn't always the right way forward, and so it strikes me that a lot of people were really keen to try this straight out of the bat, myself included, but I've really thought twice about whether to repurchase because of that price point. I'd love to see, especially if they introduce new products down the line, for that price point to be reduced a little bit. I think the formulations are great, but do I honestly think they're worth the higher price point? I've got to question whether they are. You need to factor in that some of the social commitments and the environmental sustainability, all that goes with it, does increase the price point, and I don't mind paying a little bit extra for that. But I think when you compare and contrast it to the other Inklings products, also with the other comparable brands on the market, it is just that little bit more expensive, which is what is stopping me using them in my day-to-day skincare routine. I'd love to know if this has been the same for you guys, so sound off in the comments section below. Overall, I was impressed with the formulations. I was really impressed that it had Hyram's mark all over it. This clearly isn't a cash grab, which you often do see when people bring out their own lines, be it makeup, skincare, or whatever. You can say that they've taken a product and just put their name on it. This is not the case. You can tell that Hyram's brand is all over this, and he's really gone into it and dedicated his time to coming up with these products, and I'm really, really impressed with them. I think the price point could have been thought through a little bit more, reduced down to just make it more accessible. It would certainly make me more likely to repurchase products and keep using them in my day-to-day skincare routine. Overall, if you were going to buy one product, having used them all for 3 months, I would definitely say the cleanser is where it's at. Definitely adds the most value, and I do think is reasonably unique with that nice antioxidant blend without stripping or drying. Again, the price point might not be for everyone, but it's definitely the one, if I was inclined to repurchase, that'd be the one that I go for. Hopefully this is giving you a little bit of perspective, but sound off in the comment section below. Do you agree, or do you think actually for the quality of the formulations, the price point is spot on? I would love, love, love to know your thoughts and feelings, and wherever you are in the world, guys, stay safe, stay well, and love your skin. Take care. Bye.